You know, sometimes the internet is a pretty wonderful place. This is one of those times, in case that wasn't obvious. Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. It's episode 120 of What's on the Bench Weekly. If you're not familiar with this show, it's where I take you through the projects that I'm working on. Some finished, some started, some just getting out of the box. And this is a pretty fun episode because I am sharing something that will be a full episode, maybe even more on its own. And we'll get to that in a few minutes. But first, I want to start with the last you'll see of this, the Volvo C303 from the Umagine build along that we're doing on both the Scale Builders Guild forum, linked down below, as well as our Discord channel, which is a pretty well-traveled Discord, I must say. I'm proud to finally share the finished truck. Everything's done now. All the door handles are finished. All the resin printing is done, and you may have actually seen the resin printing video that I put out yesterday all about the Elegoo Saturn Ultra 4 right here, this guy. Pretty great printer, I must say. It is pretty spectacular. A lot of setbacks. You should go watch that video. I'll link to it right up here so you can get all the information about resin printing and if it's right for you and this hobby. I think the short answer, yes. Long answer, maybe not. Watch the video. But yes, all of the bits are done. I'm really pleased with how this turned out on the VS410 platform. Really excellent platform to build on, and especially if you were trying to be a little tiny bit more scale accurate with your builds. These Volvos were on leaf springs, which I guess I could do that conversion at some point in the future. Twisted Fab Co., looking in your direction. But more importantly, these were on portals in real life. And this is a portal-based VS410 that I built, sort of cobbled together. It started out as just a chassis kit. I think I used those axles for something else entirely. And these portal axles came from my Stance RTR. So it's a little bit of everything Vanquish, including Vanquish RTR electronics. I went very simple. I used their ESC and their brushed motor. This is a trail truck only because of all the really fancy bits on it. I don't want to smash these things off on the rocks. I didn't design it to be a rock crawler. It is a trail truck. And I know some people, Josh specifically, takes offense when I say those things, but there is a differentiation. And if you don't think there is, there's something Joshy about you. But yes, trail truck. Built this to just be sort of a nice running truck. Maybe make a nice video with. And in fact, I probably will. Things to point out. Rebecca did an amazing job on this canvas topper. I added a bit of dull coat in order to have it kind of keep some of these folds. I thought it looked really good. I also dyed it and weathered it using tea. Just regular everyday red rose tea. You may not be familiar with that brand, but it's an orange Pico tea and stains clothes really nicely. This was already in sort of a tan muslin, but I wanted to give it a bit more of a weathered look. So just dipped it in some tea for a few hours and let it sit. Don't drink the tea after. Well, I guess you could drink the tea afterwards. There's no real harm in that, but I didn't. And it does a great job of covering everything up. Now, the metal cage underneath that I built to sort of frame this canopy is hard mounted to the entire chassis, so you can lift the whole thing up and toss around the room if you wanted. I wanted to make sure that it was sort of structurally sound. I could have glued it in place, but I did end up raising some tabs on there so I could screw it into the actual bed. Everything is hard mounted on the chassis. And you're probably saying to yourself, how is it then that you have a place for a battery? Well, let me show you. It's in the back here, and we can just lift this canvas topper off. You can see there's a nice looking IKEA box back there. And Swedish translation is smiley happy dog. Why not? Anyway, this is a little 3D box that I printed and designed myself. with just a friction fit tabbed based sort of lid on it, and then the battery connector is right in there, and there's plenty of room for a nice 3600 milliamp hour battery. I wanted to kind of keep it hidden. I don't like having a battery just flopping around back there, and this way it all kind of stays with the Swedish theme of this truck. Really quite happy with that, and I really like how easy it is to get at that battery if I need to either swap batteries out, just change it, whatever. It's a good truck, and I'm pretty darn happy with how it turned out. I think I look pretty good in there. I got all my skin tones down now, and yeah, there I am, looking pretty sharp. Yeah, I didn't do any of my tattoos, and maybe I should. Maybe I won't. Like I said before in a previous video, I'm kind of happy with the no tattoo look for this version of me. Who knows? Maybe I'll go in there and add them afterwards. But yeah, very happy with the details on this truck. I think it's really kind of come together quite nicely. And while it didn't seem like a quick build, because it certainly didn't feel like one, I am really happy with the results. I'm happy I took my time with it. And I think that's sort of the key to any approach for anybody building a scale truck. Take your time. What's the rush? Unless you've got an event you have to get to, plan for that. Plan ahead. Make notes. Make notes on your phone if you don't like pencil and paper. Very pleased with how this one turned out. And there's a lot of other guys that are still wrapping theirs up. There's some good ones already out there. I've seen some videos. Bishop's RC comes to mind. He did a nice fire truck version that is the full cab, like the full, not a flatbed style, like a regular style C303. I think it looks really, really good. If I can find a link, I'll put it down below. Otherwise, thank you to Umagine for allowing us to participate in this sort of build along, and thanks to everybody who built one or is still building one. If you need any inspiration, here it is right here. Okay, on to the next thing. The real question is, what do I get rid of back here to make room for this now? Who wants to buy a truck? I have to let go of my babies at some point. Just don't know what to get rid of. Down on the floor for now, where you belong. Next up, probably the thing that you've all come for, because this was sort of the thumbnail. Here is my, well, I don't know if this is my, but it's certainly a holy grail. This is the Kyosho Ford RS200 rally car. This is a nitro-based rally car. This car came out in 1988. And the story behind this for me, I was surfing Reddit, as I typically do, in the RC Cars subreddit, and I came across this, where a gentleman in the UK had found this at an estate sale, bought it for a ridiculously low price, and was like, what should I do with this? I'm not really familiar with RC cars. Should I keep it? Should this be my first car? And I was more than kind enough to say, you should sell it to me at a substantial markup, because you deserve to get the money out of it that you put into it, and then some. So I gave him a very good offer. He was more than happy to accept, and he sent it over to me. And now you're thinking, well, what's so great about a car that was built in 1988? Well, it's not so much the car itself as it is the fact that it's completely new in box and has never been built or run. It's spectacular what's in here. It's wild to me that a car this old, what is it, 11 years younger than me, so it's old, is completely mint and new in box. Everything is still sealed. The wheels still sealed in the bag. The body still brand new, not painted, not anything, like no holes have been drilled. It's absolutely perfectly mint. And not a re-re, this is the original. You know how I know that? The chassis is still in its blister pack. Look at that. It's partially built from the factory, but it's still in the blister pack. Not a single thing has been done to it. Every single part is still in the bag. This has been in somebody's basement or garage or car hole for the entire life of the vehicle. I can't hardly believe it. How old is it? I'm 48 minus 11 is 37 years old. That's so wild to me. I cannot wait to put this together, paint it in a proper livery, and take it out for a run. It's going to be amazing. And I think we'll give it a proper full video on its own. I think we'll also, we'll probably put this on That's a Weird RC, which is probably fair because of the age of the vehicle and the condition that it's in. That alone is pretty weird. So watch for that in a upcoming episode. It's crazy. I cannot believe that I have this. Thank you, Sean, for allowing me to share this with everybody else. Pretty exciting stuff. Chuffed. Definitely chuffed. And that applies in the case because this came from the UK. All right, so stick around for this. What else have we got? All right, finally for this week, I picked up a VRD Builder's Kit, which is, of course, the straight axle, aluminum railed comp chassis with the much weight reduced transmission and a lot of other nice parts. The reason I have this is because it's finally time to start the Rockabilly build. Yes, I've been holding on to this cage that Frank, RC Fabricator, was nice enough to fabricate up for me in exchange for a bunch of 3D printed parts, which I've already delivered to him. And now it's up to me to actually put this thing together. Seeing that Josh and I have some comps coming up, I thought it might be wise to actually build this. Now what I need is your help. Obviously it's going to be straight axles and it's going to use most of what's in the VRD Builder's Kit, but we have to start thinking about colors and liveries and special knickknacks and doodads to really make this sort of my own and my own personal build. For the first question, which we'll follow up on next week, what color should we make the primary cage color? Should we do something wild? Should we do something gold? Should we do something copper? No, we're not doing any more copper. But should we do something crazy with this? Should we do like a fade? Kentucky sky blue? There's really lots of options. So tell me what you're thinking. Put a comment down below. You know I love reading through your feedback and I try to answer as many of those comments as I can. And of course, actually, you know what? Maybe we can create a poll. I don't know if you can do that on a video. I'll have to check to see if you can. If you can, I'll add a poll to this video and we'll follow up with results in the coming up video. And in the meantime, if you are a channel member, you get to chime in anytime you like because there'll be extra videos all about this Rockabilly. While I'm not going to paywall anything, all the information will still be in regular episodes of What's on the Bench. You'll just get a little preview if you are a channel member. And becoming a channel member could not be easier. There's a link down below and you get access to videos before everyone else. You have also a lot of insider reports, which are specific just to the channel members. How-tos, tips and tricks, travel logs, the whole Megillah. So if you're interested in that, links down below, like I said. But I'm very excited to start this Rockabilly build. I know Josh is working on his video showing all of the ins and the outs of putting one of these together. This is going to be a fun one, I think. I've got some pretty interesting ideas for how I want to tackle some really unique touches. That's all I can say for now. More in future videos. And with that, we're coming up on the start of the live stream. So I'm going to jump off here and we're going to jump onto the live stream. Hope you'll check out those live streams. We do those every week. We're up to episode like 256 or something wild. It's crazy. I can't even fathom that that's been going on for as long as it has. 5 years and counting. Definitely come check us out on those live streams. All right, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you will stick around for some of these very cool projects that are just getting started now. And there's a whole bunch more to come, so stick around. Guess that's it. We'll see you again next week.